Welcome back to another help video. Today we will be going over the brand new EDOnext Book Designer. My name is Ellen and let's get started. First, we need to make our way to the designer. Right now I'm on the main dashboard, so all I need to do to get into the book is scroll down and select Design Pages. This will take me to page 1 in the designer with a mini ladder on the right-hand side. I can use this ladder to take me to any page I'd like, and I can also use these 2 arrow keys below to switch pages easily. The book planning ladder still exists as well, and by leaving the designer it will take you to the main ladder page. First, let's start with the basics. Each page and 2-page spreads have guidelines to follow, starting with the innermost purple line, which is what is known as the safe area. Make sure to keep all important content, like text and faces, within this area to avoid possibly cutting off the content in print. The next black line is the cut line, and the very last line is the red bleed line. Whenever we print something with a background, we want to make sure that the design stretches all the way to the edges of the bleed. This is to avoid any accidental misprints and white lines on the edges of your page when printing your book. To save your pages, you can look to the top right of the designer and see a save button, and right next to it is the exit button. Now let's move on to some tools. On the left, you'll see text, images, themes, layouts, and elements. If I click the text tool, you'll see 2 default text options, but as we work on the book, we can create our own pre-made options. I'll select the .16 font and click the page to create a new text box. If I select the box, I can scale and rotate it using the blue dots around the frame. You can also see that a quick menu has appeared, which can change the properties of your text appearance. If I double-click in my box, I can begin typing anything I'd like. And by highlighting my text or selecting the frame as a whole, I can begin changing the typeface, the color, size, alignment, and depending on what font I picked, I can bolden or italicize the font. Now I've got a font that I really like, so I can click the Save Text Style button to save my first custom font. I can use this new font anywhere in the book, and you're not limited to how many presets you can make. The next tool is Images, which will pull up your library of uploaded photos and assets. My photo categories that I made in a previous guide are visible on the bottom. I also have the option to upload photos from my computer and my cell phone by using the Upload and Scan buttons, respectively. If you need to search for a specific photo, you can either search for it by name, check the category it was uploaded to, or you can use the filtering options next to the search bar. One of our new features is actually allowing you to share your Google documents to EDOnext and place them in your book. If you copy the shareable link on your Google document and paste it into the link bar here, this will upload your document to EDOnext. On top of this, if you make changes to it on your drive and hit the update button, it will actually update the document to the most recent version. Now let's get to the actual photos. I'll select one of my categories, which will pull up some pictures, and all I need to do is click an image and then click my page, and it will place my image down. Just like text boxes, I can change the scale and rotation with the blue command dots. You can also select an image, and if you look closely, a Set Background button appears, and I can take my picture and automatically scale it to the background of my page or spread. Our next tool is our themes. We've made our specialized yearbook themes much easier to see. If I select a book from the list, it will pull up all associated templates related to the theme you picked. If I minimize the menu, the theme will stick around so I can go back into it easily. With this new feature, we also implemented a new way to take a theme and apply it to your book. If I hit Expand View, the same list will appear, but now I have an option to autofill my book with the theme I picked. Be very careful when doing this because autofilling your book will remove all content that you've already done, so we don't want to erase all of our hard work. The next tool is our Layouts button, and a fan favorite for a lot of schools. This is where all of our page templates live, and they are separated by category. It's sort of like themes, but for more generic use. You can search for keywords like sports, dance, or modern, and this will pull up any related template. You can also just use the colored buttons to filter by color, or use the categories to find what you need. You'll notice some are wider and some are taller. The wide templates are for 2-page spreads, and the tall ones are for singular pages. All of our templates are interchangeable when placed on the pages and free of use, so feel free to get creative. Last but not least, we have our Elements tool. This holds all of our individual pieces of artwork and shapes, whether they be backgrounds, photo frames, or clip art. Just like how I was able to use keywords for layouts, I can do the same with elements and backgrounds. One of the best parts about using our clip art is that many of our elements are dynamic. This means that any element with this star on the thumbnail can actually have its color changed. I'll click and place one of these organic shapes, which will pull up the quick menu again, but this time I'm going to change my clip art colors. The Shapes tool is pretty simple. It gives you solid color, rudimentary shapes, and it also gives you unique photo frames like numbers and letters. You can change the color and border of a shape by using the Fill and Border buttons at the top of the designer, like so. And finally, we have the background section. The only difference with backgrounds is that I can't change their colors, but if I were to grab a background and place it on my pages, it will automatically fill in all the way to the bleed lines. If I decide that I don't like the background, I can always put another one in its place and it will swap them out. Remember that taller backgrounds are for single pages, but wider backgrounds are for 2-page spreads. We have a lot of templates and assets to use, which can feel a bit overwhelming at first, so my best bit of advice is to explore our catalog of templates and elements by going to the home page and selecting Help. Then explore backgrounds and clip art, or explore templates. You can bookmark any element or layout you want to try, which is a great method since anything you bookmark can be found under the bookmarked category on any of these tools. It makes it much easier to find everything you're looking for. Other notable tools can be found at the top, like undo, redo, copy and paste, as well as locking frames and deleting them with the trash icon. We also have an online helper in the name of Ask Ed. This helpful AI can answer any of your questions about EDOnext and give you essential guides on learning more about the software. And that about does it. Thank you for watching and have fun exploring and making your vision come to life. We'll see you next time.